Hello everyone. Welcome to today's English class. Well, in today's class, we are going to learn about tenses, and in various exams, maybe 10th class or intermediate, or even in many competitive exams like TET or DSC, we'll get a minimum of 5 marks from this question. Now let's see how well we can do this. The first idea is there is a simple formula. This what we call like is you have to keep 4 points in your mind while attempting this question. Now let's check. The first one is you have to identify the keywords, right? And after identifying the keywords, like if it is yesterday or last year, it will be simple past tense. And then you have to decide the tense first. Later on, you have to identify the type of sentence, whether it is an active voice or passive voice. Later on, you have to identify whether it's a positive statement or a negative or a question. Once you decide that, the next area is that you have to follow the sentence pattern or the structure. If it is simple past tense, we'll go with the WH question, WH plus did plus subject plus V1. You have to remember very carefully in simple past, only in positive sentence you'll find subject plus V2, whereas in all the other types of sentences, you'll find only V1, right? Because there will be did. Okay, this is the mistake where many students make. So you have to be careful because that's why we'll give the sentence structures. And finally, a very important one is that you have to check the subject verb agreement. That's very important. So if you think about like he or I or she, we use was. And the second one is if it is we or you or they, and it is always were. So if it is for the helping verbs I'm talking. Now let's look at the some of the examples for you. Now I'll give you time. So let's see how well you can do it. So here are 5 important questions for you. Now just try it. Look at the questions. If you look at the first one, if you work hard, you dash a grade. Right? So here you have the verb form is get, and try to find out the keyword, and remember this is if condition first clause, and then what is the sentence pattern? Like you can think if plus simple present and simple future. And now let's look at the second one. Did you find any keyword there? So you can find in 2007. So it's past. And the third one is wait, come with you. Okay? And just think what kind of keyword you can find there. So now when you look at the next one, you can find daily. That is the keyword, right? So daily or everyday or often, it indicates simple present tense, right? So the last one is, what keyword can you find here? You can find yet, right? Y-E-T yet. So this indicates it is a present perfect tense. Now, I hope you can do it. Now let's go with one by one. Let's check. I hope you are ready with your answers. So then the first one is, as I told you, simple present and simple future. So it is if you work hard, you will get. Right? Now let's look at the second one. I hope you are ready with your answers. It is simple past tense. So the sentence structure is subject plus V2. And it's a positive statement. So if you work hard, India won. What is the answer? India won. And the third one is wait. and it is a keyword to talk about present continuous tense. So it is wait, I'm coming with you, right? The next one is she. This is very important. You have to be careful with the simple present tense, because for I, we, you, they, or children, we will use V1. But whereas he or she, the sentence pattern is subject plus V1 plus S or ES plus object. So the answer is she watches English newspapers daily. And the last one is, again you have to be very careful with this tense, and it's yet, yet, and it all tells about present perfect. So now the sentence pattern is subject plus have or has plus V3 plus object. So here, as we have he, it is has plus V3. So now you can say, and it's again a negative sentence. So he has not completed the project yet. Okay? So this is how we have to do. This is one sample, and these are the most important questions that we get from this area. Now let's look at question wise, each tense. Look at the thing and you can find the picture there, and then so here is the sentence for you. Madhu dash visit Delhi in 2020. So what is the keyword here? In 2020. So the sentence is simple past tense. And what is the structure we have for it? Subject plus V2 plus object. So now you can say visited, right? Madhu visited Delhi in 2020. So you'll get number of examples, and especially most of the times you'll get simple past questions. So here is the pattern that you have to follow, and let's look at the keywords. And now whoever is ready, and by looking at the questions and the keywords, you can do the work already which I have given. There are a number of examples. Try to do it. So what are the keywords we have to use simple past is yesterday, or 2 hours ago, or last Sunday, or on Sunday. And again you can say last week, or last month, or last year. And then you can think about the year, if it is in May, or even you can say in 2020. And there is one more example, like if there are two sentences in the same question. So if you get the question like while I was coming from, something happened. So then in that case also you can find simple past only. So now let's go with examples. So the first one, if you say they dash not meet last Sunday. So it's a negative sentence, right? So now what would be the answer? They did not meet. So if you look at the first one again now, it's a question. That's where did he go last year? And now the second one is 2022. I dash exam. So it is I passed SSC in 2022. And now let's look at the third one. They not meet last Sunday. So you can say they did not meet. Fine. So now if you look at the he visited temple 2 hours ago. So, and it is the answer is he visited, right? The fifth one is children dash busy last Sunday or last week. So here we have the helping verb be, as it has got all the helping verb forms was or were for past tense. So here as it is children, and the answer is children were busy, right? And the last one is, as I told you, while I was going to college, something happened. I saw an accident, right? This is how you do simple past tense. If you wish, you can write the sentence patterns that's available. Now, let's look at another example, another important. So, what do you find here? Swati goes to school every day. So now you can look at the sentence pattern. You should be very careful with the sentence pattern, like if it is he, she, it, or my friend, or my mother or brother. You have to use subject plus V1 plus object, right? So V1 plus S or ES. And whereas I, we, you, they, it will be V1. So now the sentence is Swati goes to school every day. Right? That is the keyword. And let's look at more examples from simple present tense. So what I suggest you is, the students who are very confident about the examples, you can do already. Others, what we can do is just look at the keywords. So what are the keywords? And even you can write down the keywords to identify that it is simple present tense. Now, the first keyword you can see is daily or every day. And the next one is usually, sometimes, and then on Sundays. That means every Sunday. And the next one is every week, every month, every year, always, generally, usually, often, never, seldom. These are the common keywords to identify simple present tense. Now let's look at the examples. Like, where do he read daily? So it's a question. You can find the subject is he. So now what would be the answer? Where does he read daily? The next one is, my dad be always busy. It's a helping verb and it has got am, is or are. So the answer is, my dad is always busy. And now if you look at the third one, they not play games regularly. So what do you say? They don't play. If it is she, it would be she doesn't play. So here the answer is, they don't play games regularly. Now, another keyword we have is usually. So the answer is, he usually plays games every morning. And the next one is, children often eat sweets. Children is a plural. So it's children often sweets. Now the next one is, she dashed to college daily. So the answer is, she goes to college daily. Right? So this is how you have to identify the tense with the help of the keywords, and then you have to answer, right? And you can, if you wish, you can write the sentence patterns also. This sentence pattern will be useful for you because the I, we, you, they, it's V1, and he, she, my brother or my sister, it is V1 plus S or ES plus object. If it's negative, does not plus V1, that's what you have to write a bit of notes. Now, let's look at another important example. So what do you find here? So this is a tense which expresses like future action, that what will happen. And so that question here is, I dash my students to Sitampeta Park next year. What is the keyword you can find? Next year. So you can say, I shall take, right? So now let's look at some of the keywords that you can find to identify the simple future. And the very first one is tomorrow, or next week, or in 2030, or in 2025. So the next one is coming Sunday and next year. So even sometimes we'll get like the simple present tense and simple future in if condition, right? So now let's look at the examples. If anybody is ready, you can do it with the answers. Now let's check. When we meet tomorrow. So here when you find we, what you have to do is, with I and we use shall. Right? For the other things we use like he, she, we use will. And as the pattern goes, where dash we meet. So where shall we meet? Tomorrow. And the next one is, my dad busy tomorrow. So the keyword here is tomorrow, and you have the helping verb is be. So you'll say, my dad will be busy. And the third one, if she asks. I told you, if you look at this pattern and you will say, if she asks, the future is I will help her. And now, a dash get job by 2030. So here we have the future indicator, time indicator, and you can say, I'll get the job by 2030. And the next one is, they not come to park next week. What is the keyword here? Next week. So you can say, they won't come to the park next week. And the next one is, she dashed to lab next year. So the answer would be, she will go. Right? This is how you have to answer the questions related to simple future. So the key area is find the keyword, then identify the tense, and then identify the type of sentence, and then you follow the sentence pattern. Now, look at this, another interesting example, especially for intermediate students or for any competitive exam. So what do you find? The keyword is look or wait or listen. And you can find it as present continuous tense. What do you find here? The monkey is jumping, right? And if you look at the left side picture, you can find the birds fly now. So what is the keyword here? It's now. And the answer would be, the birds are flying now, right? So let's look at some of the keywords to identify the present continuous tense. If you look at that side, you can find at the moment, now, or listen, or wait, or stop, or don't disturb. Right? So these are the various keywords to identify present continuous tense. And if you look at the sentence pattern, if it is with I, it's am plus V1 plus ing. And he, she, it, Raja is plus V1 plus ing. And if it is we, you, they, it is are plus V1 plus ing. First, you identify the keyword, then you follow the sentence pattern, and then you do the answer. I read a novel at the moment. Now I think you can easily guess it. I am reading, right? The second one is, he work on a project now. So what is the keyword here? Now. So he is working on a project now. And now the third one is, what do you hear now? So here is, again, it's a present continuous tense question. So you can say, what are you doing here now? And the fourth one is, you can say, listen, someone or somebody dash at the door. So when I said listen or wait or don't disturb, and it is present continuous tense, you can say, listen, someone is knocking at the door. And the last one is, don't disturb the dash exam now or here. So the key word here is don't disturb. Don't disturb, they are writing exam. Okay, now let's